This video is going to be hands down the most important video I have ever made on my channel. And the title might seem a little outlandish, and most YouTubers essentially, when they make an important video, they come out and say, okay, this is the 5th time that I'm recording this video, this is the first time I'm recording this video, and this is going to be the only time I'm going to be recording this video. And the reason why is because I want to speak my truth. And in YouTube, when you're making videos, there's this thing where some recording sessions are like fire, are like awesome. You can easily talk, you don't have that thing that how do I explain this, for example? I'm not gonna cut this video out. Some recording sessions are really, really good. It's like you can speak easily, you have the words, you can bundle the sentences easily, and it's like you're done in 5-10 minutes quickly. And some recording sessions are really hard. Sometimes you just cannot speak. For example, the video that I made, I think it was titled Stop Wasting Your Life, Stop Wasting Your Time, the last video on the channel. That video was a really hard recording session, and I don't know why. Sometimes it happens like this, sometimes it happens well, sometimes it's bad, right? So, because of the fact that this is a very, very important video that I wanted to make for a long time, I pray to God that my tongue will be free today, and I will be able to speak my truth in the best way that's possible, because I know for a fact that this video is going to be an incredibly important one that I will probably look back and say, yes, this is one of the most life-changing decisions I've ever made, or this was the mindset that made me successful in the future. So, in this video, I'm gonna give you guys my actual thoughts about the school system, the education system, and how I was blinded to think that academical success was my strongest trait. But first of all, I don't want this video to sound like, oh, this guy, someone who is not successful in school, someone who got bad grades, is making this video because he wants to shit on the school system or the education system, right? No, it's actually not like that. So let me give you guys a little bit of a background knowledge so that you understand my situation and so that you understand where I'm coming from, at least. The first thing that I have to talk about is both my parents are teachers, so I am really, really involved in the education system, as well as my dad has a book publishing company that prepares books that we study in the school system, which means that I'm really, really in the education system. That's all we talk about. We all just talk about education and how you educate, for example, a kid in literally the family dinner, and we have discussions about this. So I'm really involved in the education system, so I kinda little know what I'm talking about. And two, I've always been technically, academically a successful student, and I have my proof here. So let me show you guys that. So these are medals. These are medals that I won in the, first 8-9 grades probably that I went to, I guess. All of them, in my school, basically in my school in the 1st grade until, the 5th grade, and then after that as well, every month there was, an exam, or every, 2-3 months there was, an exam that you took. There was, multiple choice questions, 80 or 120 questions per exam, and the first 5 to 10 people essentially got, rewarded with, a medal, and these are, literally all my medals that I got. I don't know how many of them. I don't want to count that up because I'm not going to make this video go faster or something. But I know what I'm talking about. Let me... Bro, this is my fucking childhood. Alright. Well, now my hair's a mess, I guess. I know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's not break any of them. And then, the next thing I gotta talk about is, in the 8th grade, there's a big exam you take in Turkey, which I live in Turkey, I live in Istanbul, and this exam is called LGS exams. And in those LGS exams, generally more than 1 million students, more than 1 million people essentially take this exam as 8th graders. And I really studied for this exam because, that was what you did as a successful student, and I got into the first 400 of those 1 million students, which in equal basically means that 0.04%. Now, on this self-improvement, we talk about, oh, you're gonna become an outlier male, 1% man rate. When it comes to academic success, I was literally in the 0.04% of all students, way, way better than 1%, right? 1% was meh. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is, After this LGS exams, I got into the high school that I'm in right now, and it is officially, like, when you look at the ranking wise, the best high school in my country. And in the first 1.5 years, after 1.5 years, it kind of changed, but in the first 1.5 years, I was one of the top students of my class, of my like 30 students, for example, class, like brightest students in the whole country, and I was not the best one probably, because everyone was incredibly smart, everyone was really, really hardworking. I was in the top 5, for example, out of those students. So I was top of the top back. Now I'm going to explain, when I say back, I'm going to explain what happened and everything. So I was the top of the top as well when it comes to my school. So, when you look at this from a, like, overview perspective, you might say that, yeah, I was really academically successful, blah, 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 blah. Like, the reason why I'm explaining all this is because, like, I'm gonna explain everything, so you guys understand that, like, this is not boasting, this is actually giving some background knowledge so that you can understand where I'm coming from. You might look at this and say that, oh, he was really successful and stuff like that. And, if there is one thing that I haven't accomplished yet, which is going to, for example, a world-class uni, and that's what I'm supposed to do, like, this year. Because I'm in 12th grade, and I'm taking my mature exams in a couple of months, like 4 months, I guess, 4 or 5 months, and then after that I'll go to, like, one of the best colleges, one of the best unis in Germany or Switzerland or something like that. Or will I? We'll see. And one story that I gotta explain is, after the LGS exams, me and my dad, we went to the school that I'm in right now, this high school. Normally there would be like a B-roll here, but this video is not gonna be edited. This video is gonna be more like uncut, raw, unfiltered. We went to the school that I'm in currently, and we registered, like, me to the school. And while we were registering, like, there was this teacher that I know very well now, and he basically asked me, like, what are your skills outside of school? Like, every single student that comes to this school, they're essentially academically really successful. However, like, I want to know what you do outside of school. Like, do you read books? Do you, like, I read books, but he didn't ask me if I read books. He specifically asked me what skills that I had. And the question was, do you, like, play violin, like, what instruments do you play, or, like, what type of art do you do, like, what do you do outside of school, like, do you do, like, YouTube, or, like, those things, like, what do you do outside of school? And 8th grade, I was just studying all day long, all year long. I did not have any other skills outside of the school system, and my dad, who is also a teacher, jokingly said, he really solves well, like, multiple choice questions, and the LGS exams are multiple choice questions, so my dad, the teacher, like, they both had a laugh, and that basically showed me kind of a little that you need skills in life. That's how you become essentially successful. Like, academic success is good in the beginning, but it's like, that's not what determines, like. And throughout all my life, I was told that the more successful you are in the academical system, the more successful you are going to be in real life as well. That's what I was told. And my parents essentially pushed this narrative to me throughout all my childhood. I started reading at the age of, like, probably 4, and then I went to school for the first grade in the year, like, age of 6, and then now I'm 18. Throughout all these 14 years, I was told that if you were the best in the in the school, like, if you were ranked the top 5, and you would get a medal like this, now you're successful. And if you don't, you're not. I literally remember not being the best in the class, and like, we had this deal with my mom, and the deal was that I would be able to play 1 hour of video games after I essentially, like, after an exam. If I got that exam full, like 80 questions, 80 right, I would be able to play video games. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to play video games, like, for the next 2-3 months until the next exam, right? So that was a deal, and I made, like, one mistake, and I wasn't the best in school, and I didn't get to play video games. Like, those things happened in my childhood. They're not huge things, but, like, just what happened. I'm explaining you, giving some context. And my parents basically forced me to study much more than other students, which made me technically more successful than them. I don't think I'm especially, like, smart or something. It's just that I studied much more than them. That's why I just got better grades and I just got better results in exams. And definitely, like, my parents are, like, late 40s, like, close to 50s, which means that they are coming out from a generation where studying and being the best in school generally meant, like, a really good job, which meant that you got really well paid, and you were essentially successful in life. So I'm not actually blaming them that they did this, I'm just explaining the situation, I guess. And when you look at it from a logical perspective, if you're an entrepreneur and you're like a successful entrepreneur, you make a lot of money, you have a business that you run for yourself, you are gonna make much more than, for example, an average engineer. Like, let's say you live in Germany. I know that like average, like beginner to average, like engineers will make like 3, 4, 5k euros a month. And if you're like an entrepreneur, you make like you'll make a lot of money if you have the hard work, you have the perseverance, you have the passion, you have the like a little bit of intelligence, I guess. Like those things obviously like do matter, and I'm not saying that every entrepreneur will make more money than engineers. Like, I'm not saying that, but you got my point, I guess. So why do I think the education system is basically broken? Why do I think that? I don't think the education system essentially itself is like completely broken, but I don't think the education system is for everyone. So just like you've seen from my childhood, I was the guy, the academically successful guy, but then the moment I got to this high school that I'm in, I actually saw the most successful people when it comes to academia. I saw people who would study physics day and night just because of the fact that they liked it. That guy hated biology. That guy, his name's Arda, I guess. Arda, that guy hated biology, but he loved physics. So he would just do physics all day long. And that's what will bring him, for example, academical success that he needs. And I wasn't a guy like that. I just liked the competition, so I just played the game and I just got good grades. So, one thing that's boggling my mind is the direction that I want my life to go isn't really aligned with the school system. That's why I think that school system is not really for everyone. Because like what I want from my life is I don't want to be a statistical another person. Like we have these statistics, the average American has like $1,000 in his bank account, or 70% of the marriages end in divorce. Like these statistics, I don't want to be a statistic. In the future, I come from a middle class family, so that's why I can say this like easily. I want to live like a really wealthy lifestyle. I want to get to a point where I'm making a really good amount of money that I can provide to people that I really love, right? And at some point, I kind of realized that, or we will kind of realize that, school doesn't really want the best for you. Like, the school wants essentially what's best for the system. Because school is a big puzzle, like a big piece of the puzzle that's called this system, right? The banking system, the school education system. School, essentially, education system needs to create good workers so that the society that, like, the Matrix, so the education system is a piece of the big puzzle, right? They need to create good workers so that the puzzle can be filled and so that the charts essentially can run well. And I don't know if I want to be a part of this system. And I don't think you want to do this as well. The direction I want my life to go at has not much to do with the school system. And as I'm more realizing this, as I'm making more money on my channel, I'm not making a lot of money, but as I'm making more money on my channel, as I'm getting to the point mentally where I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to do this full time, I want to do this for my whole life, because I am passionate about this. I'm passionate about teaching people about self-improvement. I am passionate about making videos. I'm passionate about building businesses and being someone like who's just outside of the system, just does what he does. Like, I like doing this, and I don't really want any rules in my life, right? That's at least what I want. And I'm slowly realizing that education system, I'm not saying education, I'm just saying the education system, the modern education system has not much to do with my life. And as I'm slowly realizing this, I'm losing motivation to study for school. And I don't think the education system intrinsically, like, itself makes students happy. As I said before, I study in one of the best schools, the best school in my country, like ranked the highest. And when I go to my class 8:30 in the morning, I don't see like smiling faces that are there to learn. And I see essentially that in my life as well. As you guys know, as if you watch my my vlogs, or if you watch the new series that I'm starting, which is called The Journey, you see that I wake up early. I wake up like 4 to 6 a.m. right in the beginning, between that. If I go to bed early, I'll wake up at like 4. If I go to bed late, I'll wake up at like 6. And when I say late, it's like 10:30 p.m. right? It's 8 p.m. right now. Interesting. And when I wake up, I do deep works. And my deep works essentially have like two things that I do. Sometimes I'll script videos, sometimes I sit down and write these videos, like I wrote this essentially script or the outline this morning, or I will study for a lesson that's coming up. That's what I do, two things. And I will plan this from the night before. That's what you do. And, or at least that I hope that what you do, like to become more productive, you plan your days. And when I have a day where I will wake up and script videos, I will wake up easy. I'll wake up like, yeah, a new morning, stay hydrated, go brush my teeth, drop the kids in the, go to the toilet, or like, and then come back, make my bed, sit down on that chair, get my laptop, do the lights, put the headphones on, start like a meditation music type of thing, and then just start writing. That's my morning routine, like. Or I also have journaling as well, I forgot that. And sometimes I'll wake up and do like study sessions. I'll wake up and study, right? Do homework or study, like learn something new for a biology class, chemistry class, physics class. I can see the difference of the energy that I have between those 2 days. The days where I'm gonna wake up and journal and then go do my deep works for my YouTube channel, I'm like, I wake up early easily. It's not a deal, it's not a big deal, right? And the days where I will study, I wake up, I'm like, I contemplate some life choices, and then I'm like, do I go to sleep for another 2 hours and then wake up and then directly go to school and skip the morning routine? Or I'm like, and if I get up, I'm like, I don't want to do this. But I still do it. Like, I call it that discipline and mental toughness, but you still do it, but I just don't like that. But, and when I say this, I don't mean that it, like, education is not important. That is not a sentence that'll ever come out of my mouth. Because I know for a fact that education is intelligence and education, reading, these things are the most important things in your self-improvement journey. It's not your body's transformation, it's not how much money you make, it's not how well you fight. Nothing matters if you don't have this right here. If you are not obsessed with learning, then you will never be successful. And when I say learning now, that's the thing. I don't mean in school, for example. The education system basically will... The education system killed my will to learn. But I still have that child in me who's really curious, who wants to learn, but the school system kind of killed that kid. What's interesting is education is the most important thing that you should be doing in your life. Educating yourself, self-education. But at the same time, I don't think the education system is gonna do this for you. You gotta do this for yourself. So I hope that this video is not going to come out, oh, education is not important. No, that's essentially the opposite of, like, the reason why I'm making this video is to essentially promote more education so that, like, you sit down every single day for 1 hour to learn something new every day, for example. Or you just sit down to read 1 hour. That's my goal with this video. Everything is coming out of like a paradox now. Education is important. Education is important. And I think the thing that we have to do now, the best way to educate ourselves, one, it's reading. Reading 1, 2 hours, 3 hours every single day. I know for a fact that if you read like 3 hours a day, you are gonna be much further ahead than someone who's technically successful in school. If you read 2-3 hours a day consistently, and it's like 2-3 hours reading, it's a lot. Like, as you can see, 2-3 hours of reading, it's like 10% of your day, I guess. If you read 2-3 hours a day, you will be much further than someone who's technically successful as getting good grades in school. At the end of the education system after uni, for example. Easy. But no one will talk about this. Because you gotta be in the education system, you gotta play the game right. So, what am I gonna talk about next? This is gonna be a long recording session. You gotta ask yourself this question. What is your main thing? What do you want to do in the future? And what's your purpose? What's your passion? What's the thing that makes you wake up early in the morning that says, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and it doesn't feel like work? You gotta find that thing out. And the moment you find that, you actually solved like 10, 15, 20% of your problem. And that's a good thing. And we have 2 steps, like, 1, figure this out. And the thing is, if you don't know what you want to do, if you're like in the education system, like in the high school, you go to school, you love self-improvement, you love improving yourself, but you don't know what you want to do in the future. Like, you don't know if you want to be a dentist, like if you don't know if you want to be an entrepreneur, like you want to be a car salesman, you don't know what you want to do, right? Then that's not a bad thing. The fact that you don't know this is not like a shame. But the fact that you are not trying to actively figure out what your passion, what your purpose is a shame. That's what I talk about all the time. If you don't know what your purpose is, no problem. But if you're not trying to figure out what your purpose is, that is a big, big, big problem. So ask yourself this question. What's the main thing? And my main thing right now is building this channel, helping more young men about self-improvement, and then around this in the future, like building my businesses, maybe a coaching business, maybe like a different business, like building these type of businesses, because I feel like from my bloodline, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. Even though my parents are like teachers, all my uncles are like successful entrepreneurs, and I want to be like them mostly. I want to be a successful entrepreneur and building a brand. I want to do this online, live like this digital nomad lifestyle. Like that's what I want to do truly. And I want to help a lot of people while doing that. So that's my main thing. And the main message of this video is, if you know what your main thing is, and if you are not working your ass off to make that happen, you are a little bitch. So this video might come across as, yeah, this guy doesn't like the education system, he's like shitting on these people who want to become doctors and engineers. No, that's exactly the opposite of what I'm doing. So the message that I said before, which is, if you know what your main thing is, and if you're not doing essentially everything in your power to achieve that, you're a little bitch. Which means that if you want to become a doctor, if you are passionate about medicine, if you want to be a doctor and it's like you see yourself 20, 30 years down the line, you're a successful doctor, you're a successful surgeon, and you help people like that, that's your passion. So in order to do that, you gotta get into med school. And getting into med school in every country, at least, like I know the German school system, US school system, the Turkish school system, like in order to get into med school, you gotta have really good grades, right? You are a little bitch. If you want to get into med school, if you want to have that dream and you're not studying, then you're a little bitch. Another example, let's say, you love watches. Like this is a really nice watch that my uncle essentially, my cousin essentially gifted to me, and it's like an Imperial Armani watch. Something that I wear pretty much all the time. If you love watches, if watch is your main thing, if you wake up and there's a new, like, what are the, like, really famous watch brands, like Rolex. And Rolex dropped a new watch, and you just want to learn. You just want to see how watches function. You want to be maybe, in the future, you want to work at like a big company like Rolex, AP, Armani, like this for example. Or maybe you have much bigger dreams and you want to become an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to have your own watch line or something, like, I don't know what you want to do. But that's your thing. Then, if you are not doing everything in your power to learn more about watches, to learn more about how these things function, how you can produce them, or how the successful like watch companies became this successful, and if you're not trying to learn every single one of those things, then you're a little bitch. Because you don't want to do the work. And in my case, what I want to do in the future is, or what I'm doing at least right now, right at the second is, I want to make good videos. I want to make videos that make other people think. I want to make videos that other people watch and say, yeah, this kid, this little idiot knows something. This kid is trying to, for example, help me with delayed gratification. He says that instant gratification habits are bad. Just focus on yourself. Do your own thing. You're going to become more successful in the future. Male advantage. He's documenting his process to becoming a 1% outlier male. Like, that's what I'm trying to do on this channel. If I have this vision, and I'm not using the every awake hour that I have to create this vision into reality, then I am a little bitch. And when I say this, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you got to take breaks. Like, obviously you got to take breaks. You got to enjoy yourself. You got to have one day with your girlfriend. You got to have like 30 minutes to an hour, like do whatever you want, sometimes in the evening a little bit with your family. But the general point is that as an 18-year-old young man, you want to build a dream life. That's your dream life. You want to get to there. You got to work your ass off now. And if you know what your main thing is, if you know what you want to do in the future, and if you're not working really, really, really hard towards that, you're a little bitch. And that's what I think. That's the main message of this video, I guess. So, my situation right now, I have my big mature exams in like 4 months, and my 11th grade was like okay, like last year was like not bad, not too good, not too bad, because I was just doing my YouTube thing and I didn't really care about the school that much, because I can't care about the school. I don't know why. I just don't have any motivation to study. And I thought that was like a motivational problem, because like I need to learn how to get motivated. No, that's more like a fundamental problem, because I have literally no problem with having any, I don't have any problems with my motivation when it comes to my work, when it comes to my YouTube channel, when it comes to making videos like this. Like, I will sit down here and record this video for like 3 hours, and my camera has like a 30-minute recording limit, which means that I'll be recording 6 times, right? And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a motivation problem with that. I don't have a motivation problem when it comes to going to the gym, going to kickboxing, getting my face beaten up, and then going there again the next day. I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem with just studying because I don't want to do it. I don't know why, but, and when I say this, I've been the kid who studied every single day 10 hours. I literally studied 10 hours a day preparing for the LGS exams at the age of 14. I would go to the public library, sit there for 10 hours with my good buddy Hamza, and that's not the YouTuber, I have a good friend whose name is Hamza. We would sit down and study for 10 hours a day, and then just go to bed. I would go to bed, he would go his home, and then we would next day come back to the library again, Saturday, Sunday, every single weekend, like we just studied 10 hours a day, bro. I would do that, and now I literally have zero motivation to study. Because I think I'm slowly realizing that it's all a game. And when I say it's all a game, like, you gotta visualize yourself the future, and if you don't see academical success in your future, if you see that, yeah, I want to become a successful, like, entrepreneur, I want to become a successful, like, gallery owner, you like art, you do what you like, because that's how you're gonna be happy. My parents always tell me, they tell me two things. They tell me that, one, you gotta be successful in the academical world, and two, you gotta do what you love. But mom and dad, these things don't go sometimes, yeah, hand in hand, right? These things are, for me, kind of opposite. So I don't know. When I wake up, like when I go to school, I'm in the school, I'm like this. I have my pen with me, I'm like this. Playing with my pen, I'm like, why the hell am I here? And I feel like a crazy person saying this because my whole goal for my whole life has been just being the best student in those like 30 students in the class. I have my pen right here. Now I feel like I just want to sit down and record videos. I just want to sit down and edit videos. I just want to sit down and like script videos. And 2 years ago, if you ask me, I was in the like front lane to as close as possible to the teacher, and I was like holding my hand, trying to say something like all the time, focus on the lesson. I've lost that. I don't know why I've lost that. I can see the difference in those 2 days where I wake up to do YouTube work and where I wake up to do school work. The motivation levels are crazy. They're crazy different. So it's like really high, it's like really low some days. It's even funny. I think I'm slowly realizing what my passion is. I think I even can say that I found out what my passion is. And school doesn't really have a lot to do with that, unfortunately. And I have my abitur exams in the next 4 or 5 months. So I will have to study a lot for them. And I just don't have the motivation. So I don't know what to do now. I'm like, I want to go all in with the YouTube channel after high school, like after 6 months from now. And I have the option to go to uni in Germany, in Switzerland, best unis in the country. And the thing is, those unis are generally like some of the best in the world as well. It's not Harvard, it's not Oxford, but it's like some of the best like universities in the whole world. Top 50, top 20, top 10, some even top 10. Like the Munich, right, top 10, I guess. And I have the option to do that, but I just don't want to do that. I want to do this full time. And like, how do I gain that motivation for school back? Or do I need to gain that motivation for school back? I don't know. I want to prove it one last time that I can do this. But the thing is, I've proven it, bro. It's right here. I've proven it. I can do this. But I don't want to do this anymore. It's been 27 minutes. So I'm going to stop this video and start a new one. And you guys will just continue, right? So another, just continue the video. I can do this, but I don't want to do this. And I know for a fact that maybe 10 years from now, I'll look back to this video and say, bro, you had the courage to, like, yeah, you knew you weren't gonna be the best student after you realized some of those things, right? I was the best student my whole life. Now I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I hope that 10 years from now, when I look back at this, I'll be able to say, yeah, at least you completely achieved all your goals when it comes to your passion. And that's when I will be happy. I can't do schoolwork, I'm just not interested. 2 steps you need to understand from this video. 2 steps you need to take. 1, you gotta find out what your passion is. If your passion is coding, if it's truly coding, then you want to get to one of the best like universities when there's like coding. Like you want to study coding in Harvard or somewhere else. Like you want to do that. Like you want to go to a really good uni. Then start working your ass off. Start studying your ass off, right? Start doing what I've done for the last 10 years. Maybe more, yeah, 10 years, around 10 years. And because that's what you need to do now. Or maybe you are the person who's going to become a full-time entrepreneur, right? You want to be an entrepreneur so bad, bro. Like me. Like me, maybe. Then what you gotta do is do okay in school. Like, go to school, attend some lectures, not attend to your lectures, do some homework maybe, like, don't really care about the school too much, but go laser focused, literally laser focused in your entrepreneurial vision. Start that business today. Do not procrastinate. Bro, this is the biggest problem that I had for the last couple of months. And that problem was that now I'm in school, so like my school started like a month, around like 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, let's say. And before that, I had like 3 months of like summer break, summer holiday. And that summer holiday, I went to like vacations, I enjoyed myself, I did all those things, I started a new relationship, and it's going well, if you guys are wondering. Like, I did all those things, and I did my YouTube work too, but I didn't take things so seriously. Now I'm asking myself, like, if I dropped out of even high school right at this second, which I'm not gonna do, definitely not gonna do this, because I'm in one of the best high schools the best school in my country. I'm gonna get my abitur diplomas so that I can go to whichever university that I want. That's what the plan. But we will see if I go to uni or not. If I take a gap year and do this full time, and if I start making a good amount of money, I might not go to uni for a few more years, and we'll see how it works out. And the thing is, you're gonna see how all that is happening in my life through this channel. Maybe you're watching this video after like 2 years of that's recorded, and I'm like a successful entrepreneur. Hopefully, I'm a successful YouTuber making videos that are inspiring for young men. Bro, that would be sick. That would be fucking sick, bro. The thing is, the thing that I know is, it's that I don't like the situation that I'm in right now. So the natural response to this is going to be, I need to do something to change that. So I'll go to my lectures, I will be attending the classes, sometimes I'll take like participation in class as well. Yeah, this lighting doesn't make my arms look big. And I'll go to lectures, I'll attend sometimes, I'll sometimes do my homework, but I need to be laser focused on what I do, what my passion is. Because that's gonna make me happy in the future. I know for a fact that that's what's gonna happen, make me happy in the future. And I have this feeling that after this 6-month period, 6 to 12 months, I will have to make like I will have to make a decision whether I go to uni or do this full time. And I feel like that decision is going to be probably, arguably, one of the most difficult decisions I've ever made in my life. And I want to be prepared to be able to make that decision. I don't want to be at this place, exact place, not improved, not making not much money, not getting a lot of views. I don't want to be at this position 12 months from now. So what I have to do is grow this channel, hopefully do my best at growing this channel, reaching more young men for self-improvement advice, or self-improvement, like just sharing our journey together. Make at least a good amount of money so that I will be able to say, yeah, I'm just going to do this at least for a year, and then we'll see how it works out. I have this fear that, and also I have this fear that what I'm going to be doing is not going to work out. People say, yeah, it's definitely going to work out, so I don't have to think about it. I don't know if this is going to work out. And I'm scared, bro. I'm scared to my... What do you guys say in English? I'm scared to death, bro. I don't know if this is going to work out. I will give my 100% my best, but I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't like the situation that I'm in. I think the education system is not for everyone. I definitely do think that education system is not for everyone. There's a story that, maybe you probably heard about this, and it's like, in the beginning of the school journey, like in first grade, the teacher comes to the class, and it's like he or she like draws like a dot in the whiteboard, and then students say, oh, what's that? Sometimes students say, oh, it's like a galaxy, it's this, it's that, they give different answers. And then after a few years, the same teacher does the same thing to the same class, comes to the class, that draws like a black dot in the whole whiteboard, and everyone says, what's that? It's like a black dot. School killed the creativity. Like, that's the main of the message of that story, right? I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I just don't have any motivation to do any schoolwork. But I can wake up at like 3 a.m. and sit down, record videos, edit videos, make videos, answer comments, do all that. But I don't want to do schoolwork. And this is coming out from a guy whose life was to be the best in school. I went to bed thinking about what should I study, how should I study better, at the age of like 15, 14, so that I could get the best grades out of anyone for LGS exams to get into the best school in. Like, my life completely changed now. And it's a little scary, right? Find the thing that a lot of people think it's like work. You gotta do that, like it's work. But you feel like it's enjoyment. Find that thing. For me, it's YouTube. For me, it's making videos now. And then go all in that. And whilst you go all in, I don't mean that like drop out of your college or quit your job. That's not what I mean. Do that until the point this takes off, and you do this now. This was more like an unfiltered video, more like a raw cut. No edits, even though I hope that you guys understand me. I'm not going to talk too much because I have a lot of things to say, but I don't want to talk too much. My life is changing at a pace that I feel not comfortable in. Yeah, that's a good sentence. My life is changing at a pace that I do not feel comfortable in. But I think change is what's needed. And I'm not getting enough sleep. Even though I tell this all the time, get enough sleep, right? I can't do that. I don't know why. I just want to wake up early. And I feel sleep deprived in school. And I know that's not what I'm supposed to do. But I'm in a mental weird position as I'm in monk mode. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Dear future Amit, I promise you, I will make it. I will make it.